Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 5 of Yappin, Jabberin, and Ramblin. I know you don't like the name, but how about this? How about you come up with something?
Nope, you got it.
Exactly.
Yammering, jammering, and yellow hammering.
How many times I gotta tell you? Yellowhammering is Alabama.
Rammering, jammering, and
Nope.
stammering.
Not the first two.
What did I say?
Rammering and Jammerin.
Okay. How about rumbling, bumbling, stumbling?
Alright, Chris Berman.
Whoop!
I like that.
Does that make you Babyface Bob?
I guess.
He killed a man.
He did. We de-thumb. I'm getting my movies all mixed up.
Wallet.
Getting my movies all mixed up.
What a hell of a cold open.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we got a hell of a lineup for you tonight.
We have topics since
We do have topics.
the first time, since the first episode.
Yep.
Let's start off with one that you had. Living with a woman. The woman?
We'll
Women.
call it a woman. Female population.
Yeah, them.
They.
So, what have you learned? So, when you say things you've learned, are you talking about women or just like things in general that you've learned from the woman?
So, I have learned to do the dishes every day. I have learned that all my clothes can fit in one drawer.
Wow.
I do have a lot of hang-up clothes, but
So do
I still have a lot of clothes that aren't hung up. I have learned it's important to separate the dark and white clothes. I have learned that apparently Tide Pods are bad for your clothes.
All right, let me stop you right there real quick. Never used.
Good, because I was running out of ideas.
Never used Tide Pods. We use the dish detergent pods all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't separate the lights and darks. Is Grace living in like the 50s where she's got the washboard and like? Because with technology, it's not that. I mean, now, like, okay, I get if you're washing like something red and something
white.
We also don't have a lot of just like white clothes.
Well, I think if it's like the first couple of times you're washing like a red shirt or a red pair of socks,
okay, yeah,
with like some light colored clothing, then yeah, then the color's gonna run.
I'm with you there.
But I think once you get past that point, I don't think it's a problem. However, is that an argument I'm willing to have? No.
Fair point.
Our compromise was, listen, because the way we've allocated the chores is that I'll do the laundry if she vacuums, sweeps, and cleans the bathroom. Which I think is a damn good deal. Because she cooks. She's a great cook. I don't hate cooking, but like now I don't have to think about cooking, like what I'm gonna have for dinner. But I do the dishes. And then we've split the others like that. So I was like, okay, we can split the lights and the darks if we have a dark basket and a light basket. Because I don't want to be going through laundry like one big hamper, separating them out.
Okay, that's fair. So
that was our meet in the middle.
So y'all throw your clothes together in separate light and dark hampers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We just have our own separate hampers.
We have a hamper next to the dresser. That's for the dark clothes. And then a hamper in the closet for the lights.
Got you. Yeah,
and our sheets are also white. So those will go in with the lights.
Got you. We have our own separate hampers. But when most of the time I'm doing the laundry, that may change with my new work schedule. But I've been doing laundry, and so like I'll do like most of her one of our clothes, about, I don't know, 2/3, 3/4, something like that, of the hamper into the washer. Let that go, move it to the dryer. The rest of whoever's clothes, some of the next person's clothes in the next load.
Where is your washing machine?
Closet. Stackable.
In the bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
second question. Why do you separate the boy and girl clothes?
Because when you're folding them, it's easier for the most part.
I was about to say she already stole like half your shirt, so I don't give it the point.
That's fair.
But
more so the sensitive garments, intimate garments.
Under intimates?
Yes.
Yeah.
The underwears.
Yep. Yeah. Folding lady underwear. I was trying to
how do I do this?
One of those situations. And I was halfway through, so Drew, you don't need to do all that. Just fold them in half. They're not like boxers. I was like,
fair enough.
Heard.
One thing I did learn though, I learned this early on. We fold differently. So if I'm folding a shirt, tuck the arms and the sides in half and half is how I do it. She folds
it. Make me go get a shirt?
No. She folds it in half, tucks the arms, and then in half. And I'm like,
no. I tuck the arms, and then I throw it on the bed, sweep it, so I'm allowed to fold it in half. Boom, that's folded.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. She also turns her socks completely inside out when she's doing it.
It depends. If it's ankle socks, yeah. But if it's long socks, it's just the top.
Interesting. I do it. I don't do it fully either way.
How do you?
If it's ankle socks, I just do it, but instead of making it into a little ball, it's just halfway tucked.
Hold on. I need a tutorial. I got ankle socks on right now. So.
I have crew socks on, so. Yep.
All right. Say when.
Right there. Yeah, that's it.
Bunny!
Bunny! Scoob!
Read that back.
Bunny! But yeah, that's how I do it.
Finish the drill.
No, because then when I'm undoing them, you have to undo them all the way.
You're right, because that's so difficult.
Shut up, all right? Teach his own. There's no right way, but there is a wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a wrong way. Here's the wrong way.
It's just yep, that's
a sock. That's a wrong way, in my opinion. Anyway.
No.
Anything else you've learned?
I
think I've exhausted my...
I mean, there's hair everywhere. Mostly in the shower.
Mostly.
Okay, but your hair is short. Her hair is not.
That's true. I did get a piece of girl hair stuck on my pinky toe earlier today. That drove me crazy. I had something in my hands. I can't remember what it was, but it drove me nuts. Okay. But I'm not allowed to judge anybody. So
that's fair. Now, that is a problem when you have more carpet, hardwoods, and rugs. Not as bad unless you have a shag rug. But our rugs, that doesn't happen. It's more so in the shower. Now, again, when I shave, my beard trim is getting this thing and she hates it, but
I hit it with the...
Yeah.
Wash it down the drain. I mean, not all of it. I take the most of it and put it in the trash. But the stuff that I'm... Yeah.
One thing I just hate, though, about our dishwasher, though, if it's plastic, it doesn't dry. If it's ceramic or stainless steel, it dries pretty well. If it's like a Tupperware...
I've started... If we run it early enough, and it's done before we go to bed, I've started opening it to give it some ventilation overnight, And then if it doesn't finish when we go to bed, then, I'll get it in the morning, like when I go to the gym.
That's not a bad idea. I may start doing that.
No. Yeah. No, it's a tip I picked up on.
No, we definitely don't run the dishwasher every night.
Yeah, no, neither do we. But yeah, when the first time we did that, like all the dishes were not soaked, but definitely weren't dry either.
Mm-hmm.
So
you gotta take a towel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Had to.
So, I'm a big proponent of hand washing things. More so the things that I know I'm going to use more frequently, like plates, silverware. Cups are a good one, but like plates, silverware, like bigger bowls used for cooking, I can throw in there. Yep.
All right.
Finish chewing.
I just realized my mic was going down. I am much more comfortable with rinsing a lot of things than she is. The conversation we had today was the coffee pot. I'm just giving her a slosh.
Yep.
Pouring her out.
Yep.
And then it's not one of those that takes paper filters. It has like a metal built-in filter. I just give that bad boy a rinsing. Let it dry. Move on to the next.
That's what I do.
She took soap to it today when she saw me like doing the damn thing. She's like, no, there's coffee oils in there that can ruin the metal.
You're about to that's crazy. Use it again for the next day.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
No, like I will say, give it a good wash once, maybe twice a week.
Well, yeah. Once, twice. But
like you ain't gotta be doing that all.
Not every day.
Our coffee maker, it has a setting where like I guess you put water in the reservoir. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a clean button, and it cleans it through.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that about once.
I'd rather do that once a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I'm with you on this one. Like you're using the coffee pot the next day, it's coffee.
Every damn day. I used to not drink coffee every day until I met her. I would do it at work, and then like if I needed to pick me up between classes, and then especially if I was studying late.
Caffeine's never had a huge impact on me now, like the energy drinks. Not Monster and Red Bull, those don't do it to me, but like, I don't know. Rain and C4? Ghost. C4, those three are probably the ones, and they're full of caffeine. So they do something for me.
So we don't have Kroger's up here. We have Harris Teeters.
Same thing.
And they're owned by the same people. And they were having a sale earlier this week. I don't know if they're still having it. So you're familiar with the Celsius energy drink? Buy 2 of them, get 3 free. So 5 for the price of 2.
Interesting.
I have taken advantage of that deal twice. I left 4 out of the 5 of them in Georgia the last time we were there. So I went back to the store and got more. So
now, energy drinks, those were more. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't drink them often.
When I was coaching football, I would have those before a game. Or like on the way to summer workouts, I'd have those in the morning because it's early and I wasn't used to being up that early.
Yeah. For me, the Celsius is more of like it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I know I've got a full afternoon and evening, and I just cannot afford to take a nap. So I don't know. And just, I do think my caffeine tolerance has gotten to the point where coffee does its job to get me going, but if I need like a true like shot in the arm, coffee's not going to do it.
Okay, I feel that. Coffee for me has never given me like a energy boost. I drink it in one because we have a coffee pot. I'm going to make use of it. Now, also, I'm not a huge fan of like super hot coffee. So, like, I don't know. Today, I set it to delay brew at like 6 a.m. Poured it at like 6:30. Didn't finish drinking it until 10:30, and it was still warm.
Yeah. Yeah. So like so I don't have coffee before I go to the gym.
Oh yeah,
I try not to
gym days.
anyway.
No.
But the only days like I'm up early enough to actually like do that, like before Grace is up, I don't do it. But so like we'll make the coffee around 8 o'clock. And then I'll sip on it like throughout the morning.
Do you not have a delay brew setting on your coffee maker?
We do.
Okay.
We do. We also have like whole bean coffee, and we have a grinder.
Same.
So I don't know. The preference in this household is freshly ground coffee.
Oh, we grind it like by the bag and then just have it.
That's what I've done in the past with like my grandparents or whatever. But you got a setting on there where you can say how many cups of coffee that you want, and it'll spit out that many grounds.
Fancy.
Yeah, no, it's nifty.
Ours is just like
it is nifty.
Ours just has like the reservoir, and however many cups, quote unquote, that you want, and then for every cup is a scoop of coffee grounds.
And then hell yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like this afternoon. Yeah, this afternoon, like there was some coffee left over. I do that on purpose, just in case I do need an afternoon cup. And I forgot about it until 5 o'clock because I did have a pretty busy afternoon. And I poured it out, and it was not ice cold, obviously, but it was cold.
Room temp, yeah.
It was room temperature. And I was sipping on it. She's like, "Dre, it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not going to be able to sleep tonight." I said, "Really? Watch this." No, I did put it in the fridge, but I have no problem with cold coffee at all. It's a cheap man's cold brew.
Amen. Oh yeah, I like a good iced coffee every now and then.
Yeah, 100%. I like iced coffee, especially when it's hot as hell outside.
Going back to when you said you were sipping on coffee at 5 o'clock. There's one time we actually hit the wrong button on our coffee maker. Instead of delay brewing it brewed it then, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, hey, dirt coffee. I'm fine with it.
See, yeah, there are people that do have like coffee after dinner. And I've done that one time. We were it was one of either the first or second time that we were at Grace's Italian grandparents' house for dinner. Yeah. And her grandfather looked at me and said, "Do you want a cup of coffee?" I was like,
I'm not saying no to that.
I'm not going to be rude. Yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee. I've never had coffee after dinner. But it didn't keep me awake. Honestly, it made the drive home smoother because I wasn't, it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and it was nice to drive home alert. Okay, so you want to move on to the next topic?
Oh, I have a tangent off that just real quick.
Okay, no, all good.
I used to think, like, how do people fall asleep at the wheel? Like, before I was driving?
Yeah.
Or at least driving, like, long distances?
Yeah, because, like, when you're 16, 17, 18, the maximum distance you're driving is, like, 30 minutes tops, right? In a normal circumstance.
Yeah, there was one time we were going down to Myrtle Beach. I say down to Myrtle Beach. We were going to Myrtle Beach for my brother's baseball tournament. And
how old were you?
18, 19.
Okay. Carry
on. And we took 2 cars down there because we had beach stuff, like clothes and stuff, and then baseball stuff.
Yeah.
So for the 4 of us, we were not fitting all that in one car.
I'm familiar.
So we took 2 cars. And so my parents were driving one car, me and my brother in my car. He's being a terrible wingman. He pops his headphones in and just listening to music. I'm over here driving on 20 like. And okay, it's not like super. It's not like 6 a.m., but it's like I don't know, 7:30.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't like right when I got in the car, is we got on 20 and we were just going straight for a while.
How long is that trip? I've never been to Dirty Myrtle.
Oh, that was the last time. Last time I went, possibly the only time I've been. It's a little bit further than Hilton Head. It's 5 to 6 max.
Okay. We're gonna call it from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach, South
I mean, you get on 20 for a minute.
It's not that far from here, relatively speaking.
Because Myrtle is north, correct? North South Carolina.
I mean, it is 5 hours and 40 minutes at 9:30 at night.
So let's call it 6.
Yeah. So Myrtle Beach is south of me and looks like it's barely north of Atlanta.
I was like, because Hilton Head is an hour from Savannah, roughly.
Ish, yeah.
So, all right, that's all I had to say. Is I don't know how good anyone falls asleep while driving. Oh.
Yeah. I remember when I was taking health class, and like, we had like a driver's ed unit. He's like, I'll be honest, man, long day. I was like, Coach, I don't know what you're talking about. You're literally driving a 2-ton vehicle.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense, says the 14-year-old. Yeah.
So, all right, next topic. We're old. And I hate it. Let me see. So, I think it was CBS. Hold on, let me see. Pro athletes 25 and younger. Oh, here's world's highest paid athletes.
Found an article as of 2023 that says the top 20 NBA players under 25.
This is the most recent one. This is one that I was listening to on the radio. Top 25 NFL players under 25.
Was this May 20th, 2024?
This is June.
June 2nd, 2024?
June 25th.
This is from Bleacher Report?
This is CBS.
How about you just send me the link?
You know what? We have technology. I can do that.
We do have technology.
Boom. All right. I'm going to start rattling them off.
Go for it.
Jahmyr Gibbs is 22. Sam Laporta, 23.
Okay.
Aiden Hutchinson, 24.
That hurts.
Puka's 23. Garrett Wilson, 24. Chris Olave, 24. Devontae Smith, 25. Kyle Hamilton, 23. Brock Purdy, 24. Stroud is 22. CeeDee Lamb's only 25. I don't know why I thought he was older. Penei Sewell is 23. Jamar Chase is 24. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Micah Parsons, 25. Justin Jefferson, 25. So, just about everyone that I named is either your age or my age, or younger. So,
see, none of those, especially towards the top of the list, really surprised me that much because, I watched them play in college while we were in college, or right after I graduated. So,
I mean,
those don't surprise me as much. And then also, I think like fantasy football, fantasy football and Madden softens the blow of some of these names a lot. But I did not realize that
Micah Parsons.
Sam Laporta.
He was a rookie last year, so that one makes sense.
That's true.
But, like, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons have been in the league
for a long time.
3-4 years. I think this is CD Lamb's last year of his contract.
CD Lamb. Let's see, draft year. He was drafted in 2020. It feels
long.
I feel like CD. It does. It definitely feels longer than that. CD Lamb was on the Oklahoma team that we beat in the Rose Bowl.
But he had to be like a freshman.
He was. But like just to say that
That's
as
fair.
a fact.
That's fair.
Still points out like.
Now, when I first heard when they were first talking about that list on the radio, I thought CD Lamb. Then I was like, no, he's too old because I thought I remembered him being on that team. But then they mentioned him, and I was like, oh, I was thinking of Marquise Brown because he was on that team, and he was like their number one wide receiver.
He was their one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Dude, just both stacked on the team.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Out of the guys that we've named, Baker Mayfield might be like viewed as the worst performing.
Did he throw for 40 touchdowns last year?
I'm just saying, like career wise, he's
no, definitely. But like,
yeah,
he threw for like it was at least 30. It may have been.
Is
40.
that a fact? Are you saying that? Or are you asking that?
I know he threw for at least 30. I think he threw for 40.
Baker Mayfield's stats. Last year, 2023.
Yes,
he threw for 4,044 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 10 picks.
What?
With a passer rating of 94.6.
That's still not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Won the division. Sorry.
Fuck you. It's fine. It's not Baker Mayfield's fault we lost the division.
Or Arthur Smith, but that's another topic for another day.
Okay, so
all I know is that George Pickens is going to fight that man on the sidelines at least once this year.
I'm okay with that. I like George Pickens. I'm not saying I dislike Baker Mayfield. I got a lot of respect for the kid.
Okay, but that's okay. That's just NFL.
Don't even get me started on the MLB. There's no.
Okay, honestly, I mean, okay. As I know more NFL players across the league than I do MLB players because of fantasy football. I mean, I also play fantasy baseball, but nowhere near as involved as fantasy football.
Sure.
So focusing mainly on the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Braves may have. I was at the game Sunday, and I was looking at the little program they give you. I think there's only
program.
Mm-hmm. There's only one person on the Braves active roster younger than me, and it's only by like a few months,
couple days. I remember going to when my fiance was in grad school. I remember the first time I saw a good chunk of the roster younger than me. We went to a Greensboro Grasshoppers game.
Okay,
which to be fair,
that's also like
is single A baseball.
I think it's low A.
It is low A.
So that's like right out of high school.
So these are these are rookies. Yeah, the majority of the roster was younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the oldest guy was like 25.
Yeah, if you're older than 25 on high A, just I hate to say don't follow your dream, but like man,
hey man, just put the fries in the bag.
But the Braves specifically, I mean, everyone
says the guy that stopped playing baseball in the 8th grade.
I mean, Spencer Strider is around our age. How old is Spencer Strider?
That is a good question.
Spencer Strider.
How do you feel about the Life is Good brand? While you're looking that up.
October of 98. You're like a month and a half older than him.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we're talking about it, all right? But, I mean, a lot of their core He's still a couple years older than those. Austin Riley, late 20s. Matt Olson's closer to 30, but still not 30 yet, I don't think. Ozzy's late 20s. Acuna's late 20s. Michael Harris's, I still think. Yeah, let me check that one. Michael Harris. If I had to bet, probably 98.
Acuna's 26.
Now, he's also been up since he was like 19 or 20, so like he's been here.
He's been there for a while. Ozzy's 27. Who else did you just say? Oh, Michael Harris.
Michael Harris is 2001. Oh, my God.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I thought he was like 99, 98.
Nah, dude, he's 23.
Stockbridge.
Son of a bitch, he went to Texas Tech.
No, he didn't. He was drafted out of high school. He may have been committed to Texas Tech.
He was. Yep, sorry. Fake news, everybody.
I'll say he went to Stockbridge, and
the Braves were able to keep him away from a commitment to Texas Tech with a $548,000 signing bonus.
That's what they do, man.
That would make me think about not going to school for sure.
And now he's locked up for 6 years, something like that.
You're supposed to be the ball guy. You're supposed to know ball.
Okay, well, up until like the past week or so, the Braves haven't been doing so hot. And they're not on TV anymore.
It's your fault.
Right, my fault.
You stopped working there, and all of a sudden they're not on TV anymore. So all I know is those two coincided, so you were obviously the X Factor.
Right, yep. All me.
That's right.
No. But I asked my dad this last week. I was like, how did you deal with, when you were my age, athletes being your age or younger? He was like, well, I think it's weirder being older than all of them. I was like, I don't think so. I was like, when you're old, you know you're old. And you know that athletes are younger than you.
You know that you're watching the kids play.
Right. But when you're our age, you're like,
it's a very weird
transition. This dude's doing this, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
And I work in accounting.
So it's just like, man, like, okay, NBA, I don't think about that much. Just because I know there's a lot of 19, 20, 21-year-olds just because the one and done rule.
Yep.
Whereas in football, you have to be, the earliest is 20. And that's if you have a late birthday when you're drafted. And then MLB, even if you're drafted out of high school,
you're probably not seeing the big leagues until you're 20,
21?
3 at the earliest.
23 if you're ready. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. There's a lot of factors in there.
A lot of, I think, teams should. I think they're kind of going towards this. They're going towards drafting college pitchers, but high school bats. That way, their pitchers only need a couple years at most. See Paul Skeens.
Yeah. He is lighting it up, though.
He is. I mean, he's got a legitimate case to be the all-star starter.
Yeah.
After being the first overall pick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, college arm. So he had 3 years of college ball and a full year in the minors.
Yep.
Whereas that's basically what you're getting if you're getting drafted out of high school and you're doing 3-4 years in the minors.
It's true. That's true. Did he go straight to AAA?
No, you don't do that. You just kind of say, here's rookie ball.
Advance quickly.
Yeah, here's like the fall league. Here's you're in high A. You kind of skip low A. You're in high A for a couple months. You're in double A. Double A is now the place where you can kind of see where your talent is. Because triple A is mainly, there's a lot of veterans who don't have anywhere else to be. And then you're only in triple A pretty much for rehab or a very short time before you're called up. That's kind of the newer trend.
Gotcha.
Like Michael Harris, Skip Gwinnett. went straight to Atlanta out of Mississippi.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which, fun fact, I don't know. I don't know if you... Oh, good.
I was going to say my grandparents are so funny because I like that Michael Harris. He's from Mississippi. I said,
nope.
No.
He's from Stockbridge.
He played in Mississippi because that's where the Braves are.
Right.
Or were.
Not from Mississippi.
Not from Mississippi. Yeah. From
Stockbridge.
Nice.
But yeah, NBA, don't really. Again, one and done rule. I know there's a bunch of either one and done or you're going overseas for a year.
Yep.
So I know there's a lot of younger kids than me.
There's a lot of young soccer players, just because if you're good at soccer.
They start doing those like travel clubs at like 12, 13.
Yeah, and I think the younger kids are just because it's a less like. I feel like there's less of a learning curve when
it's a lot of skill.
It's a lot of skill. It like strength, power, and size does have something to do with it, but if you have a lot of footwork and skill and striking ability,
if you could run and know how to use your feet, I mean, you
can overcome a lack of size and strength.
Coming from a soccer novice, I do not watch soccer a lot at all, but I just feel like if you could run a good bit and you're pretty good with your feet, you're ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah, especially if you have a high soccer IQ. And then with the NHL, it's similar to baseball, unless you are like a top 5 draft pick, where then you're expected to make like a day 1 impact, like Connor Bedard in Chicago. I mean,
it's crazy how football.
He was named the assistant captain his first season.
Jeez,
I think
it's crazy how in football.
Let me double check that.
You're kind of expected to make an impact day 1 first round draft pick. Like even in basketball, you're like day 1. No, end of the season. Yes, I expect you to do something. Day 1, no. Football, you're like, all right, day 1. Go out there and either throw for 300 yards or catch a tutty or have a couple sacks.
Oh. Huh. Funny. My apologies. The Blackhawks were actually without a captain this past season. They never named one.
Can you do that?
They've done it multiple times. They also had no captain between 07 and 08.
Interesting.
It is funny, though, when I Google Chicago Blackhawks captain, there's a picture of Connor Bedard. He is, like, the heir apparent to the captainship.
I was about to say prodigal son, but heir apparent makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, let me look up assistant captain. And then we can move on.
Yeah, no. Football is really the one that kind of messes with me.
They did have a alternate captain or assistant captain, whatever you want to call it, but they never named a captain. Nick Foligno, Foligno. Sorry, Nick, if you're watching this, highly doubt you will be, but I butchered your name. Sorry.
Sorry about
that.
All right. Yeah, moving on. And the last topic that I got planned is also one that you had. Something about beer and attending/watching.
Yes. If you are attending, I think this could be 2 different questions. So I'll ask them both. If you are attending a sporting event, let's call it a UGA game, a big UGA game. Let's call it a 3:30 kick because that's what we're used to so far.
Used to, yep.
Okay. So, Chaz, you are the tailgating aficionado out of the 2 of us. Aficionado. There we go.
Yep, that one.
Out of the 2 of us. If you have a 3:30 kick, it's a big game. You want to make sure you get a spot. what time are you getting to the tailgate spot?
Tailgate spot? All right, hold on. I'm trying to work backwards. So kicks at 3:30. Gates open at 1:30. Probably 10 at the latest.
Okay. We'll call it 9:30 in an effort to be, just to make sure you get your spot.
And that's if you got like a full like tailgate, like you're gonna be there.
Full
You got food.
Yep. So, based off of that, what time are you cracking your first beer?
10:30.
Mm-hmm.
After I get breakfast in me.
Yeah.
Or some sort of sustenance.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going under the assumption you've already eaten breakfast.
Fair.
So my answer would be as soon as we get everything set up.
It's called 10. 30 minutes to get it set up.
Which should be 10 o'clock.
It's all right.
Now, if you're sitting on your couch at home, same Georgia game, 3:30 kick, what are you cracking that first one?
Noon.
For the first slate of games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I'm staying at home, I'm throwing on College Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not watching all of it, but it's on.
I started going to the grocery store Saturday mornings.
It's not a bad time.
Yeah.
Especially during that middle hour of game day.
Yeah, exactly.
That 10 to 11.
Exactly. And I'm not talking like I'm grocery shopping for the week. I'm talking like
I'm getting a 12-pack of beer and food.
Yeah.
For that day,
Getting rations. Yep. Yeah. Especially if if someone's coming over or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
but I would agree.
Yeah, because you're laying in bed, you're scrolling on your phone, you're taking your time making breakfast or whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're in no rush because as soon as you start drinking beer, you're gonna be drinking the entire day pretty much. Right. Whereas if you're tailgating, you're pretty much only drinking at the tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
At least in a stadium, and then, that doesn't sell alcohol.
I'll be honest with you. I think even if I start drinking at 10 a.m. for a 3 o'clock or for a 3:30 kick, I still think I may not order a beer at the stadium because especially if I'm going with my wife or with my family down the road, that'll be sober up time.
No, yeah, I agree.
While I'm enjoying the game. Yeah, 100%.
Whereas if you're sitting on the couch all day, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm watching football all day long.
All day long.
I'm getting a beer whenever I feel like getting a beer.
That's right. 12-pack may not be enough if you're looking at a whole day's affair.
It depends.
It does depend.
If you and I were watching football all day long, no, we need more than a 12-pack. Mm-hmm. But if it was
100%.
Me and the lady, 12-pack is more than enough.
Probably, yeah. Probably. But yeah. Does the answer change if I bump the kickoff back to 7? I would say it would change the tailgating time. So almost by default, that would change the beer time. However, if it's at home,
I think that question. I think at home, noon is the standard.
I do think that your cadence of beers at home, if you have a 7 o'clock kick, probably a little slower.
That's fair.
Because it's a marathon. Whereas you got a 3:30 kick, you see, because whenever we have a 3:30 kick, I like to average a beer a quarter in that noon slate. So by the time 3:30 rolls around, not schlockered, but we're a well-oiled machine.
Feeling good.
Everything's running properly.
You're yelling.
And then, yeah. They can't hear me, but I'm yelling. And then we get to the this Georgia game that is happening at 3:30, which is probably a thing of the past. And then I would probably like to keep up that beer a quarter. However, it'll probably start a beer the first quarter. That second quarter beer is going to lag over into halftime, and I'm going to give that third quarter beer a minute. So it'll probably become like 3 beers in the entirety of the game. And then I'll crack the fourth one after the game's over, hopefully.
In celebration, yep.
Yeah.
I will say for tailgating, I don't think let's say you're tailgating. Now, I will say, if you're doing a 3:30 tailgate and you have the full, I don't know. If you're doing a 3:30 game, you're tailgating, you can't really do like a full tailgate. I mean, you can. People will tell you that you can, and I'm not disagreeing with them. My preference would not be a full tailgate. Like, I'm not grilling. I'm going to, Publix and getting,
Publix?
chicken tenders or subs or something. Yeah.
Hell, yeah.
You have food, but you're not preparing the food. Maybe a couple sides, like a pasta salad.
Yeah.
But you're not making food while you're there. Now, 7:30 game. Yeah, you definitely have time to throw on the grill, make your food there. So, for purposes of this question, I will say that 7:30 kick. Let's say you're getting there 10 o'clock, and you're doing the full spiel. You're making the food, whatever. You start drinking when you set up, but like you said, the pace is slower. Because if I'm setting,
you're saying at 7 o'clock kick, you're still getting there at 10 a.m.
If you're doing like a full thing, I was trying to keep it similar for purposes of the question. All else being equal.
Sure.
Yeah, I say you start drinking, but your pace is slower. Like if you have a 3:30 kick, you get there at 10. You're drinking not like quickly, but enough.
Steady pace.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whereas 7:30, you can start drinking at 10. To, I guess, you're nursing your beers until closer to game time, in which you're not downing them, but getting lubricated.
Right.
So that's my take.
Deal. No, I like it. It's a good take. I think I agree with you. I don't really tailgate that often, unless I'm with you most of the time. So yeah. I'd say like your average clip from like 10 o'clock to 3:30 would probably be like. See, what's that? 5 hours. But no one wants to get there at kickoff. I hate people that want to get to games at kickoff. That honestly,
I say you start
me.
You start packing up 2 hours before. You start making your way to the stadium an hour before.
I agree. So let's work backwards here. So kickoff's at 3:30. You're moseying. You're not hauling ass, but you're moseying about 2:30.
Having a beer on the way, probably.
Probably, yeah. So all right, so that knocks it down to about 5.5 hours. I'd say you average a beer every 45 minutes. I think you're doing pretty good.
Solid.
Yeah, no, I think so. Let me just do some quick math.
I'm not again. Maybe it's just kind of how my family is tailgated. There's definitely been times where we do the whole when we make food, it's like burgers and hot dogs. It's not like we're not pulling out the big green egg.
Based on the quick math, that's about 8 beers.
That's not bad.
Could you put this on the charger, please? Thank you.
I guess I just don't have the patience or the want to haul more stuff out from the car to wherever we're tailgating. Because if you're lucky, you have an ability to like drive up to where you're tailgating and drop off the stuff, but where you're parking is not going to be right there most of the time.
Right.
So you're going to have to haul everything back to the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Even where your parents are at. I mean, it's not like the south deck is far, but you can't pull the car up like you did dropping the stuff off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a pain.
So like the most cooking we do is like burgers, dogs. Like I'm not smoking stuff. People like, you know, if we're playing,
man, get out there at 6 a.m. You're not a real fan.
If we're playing, South Carolina, people are doing like whole chickens. If we're playing Florida, they're doing gators. I'm like, all right, I like appreciate the chutzpah.
I will say Jacksonville's probably a little different of a circumstance.
That's fair.
People do get out there at 8 a.m.
That's fair.
Or earlier. Like I'm going to the Grove this fall. I am fully prepared to get there at 8 a.m. because, it's a very coveted tailgating spot.
Yeah, I don't want to do
I'm willing to get there earlier.
I don't want to be like, I hate to say super extra because it makes it sound like I'm against like tailgating, which I am not. But like,
no, love tailgating. I just think like if you're just tailgating to be in the atmosphere and to contribute to the game day environment, and you're not going to the game, please go all out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bring 2 tents.
So you got the TV, you're sitting there watching the game, like that's different.
Yeah.
But like if you're like
100%.
just there pregame,
go stupid. Yeah.
You're just there pregame. Grill some burgers and dogs, all for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't make a Boston butter. I just think it's a lot. I just think it's a lot.
I've seen some people, I'm sure you've seen them too, but like we got a 3:00 kick or a 3:30 kick, and they get out there 8 a.m. and they watch college football all day at the tailgate spot, which I can appreciate. Me personally, I don't think I want to do that, but I can appreciate it. Now, if it's like a noon kick, yeah, I totally get at least watching the 3:30 slate at the tailgate spot, and then maybe packing it up and getting home for the primetime games. But I don't know. That's just me. I'm not a huge tailgater. Never was. I haven't been to this point. I might be in the future, but I don't see it. I think I'd rather host something at the house.
That's
where, we've got indoor plumbing and a grill and plenty of TV screens.
I will say, underrated thing is tailgating after a game. Now, you kind of banking on a win there. But let's say you got a noon game. You go to the game, and then you tailgate afterwards.
Sure.
Let traffic die down.
Yeah. I could see the logic behind that more than the alternative.
That's fair.
Which would be getting there stupid early. But I digress. This was good, man.
This was good. That was hard. We had 3 topics. We hammered them out. Very few tangents for once.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to be succinct.
We did good.
Timestamps looking at 54 minutes still. But yeah.
3 topics in under an hour.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to us again, and we'll see you next time.